All right, for many students, school provides very important resources, learning first and foremost, but also food security, caring adults, and other things that they maybe can't get otherwise. Well, now as we head into the summer months, kids will also be negatively affected by the learning that they lost out on as schools closed during the pandemic. And joining us now to talk more about this is Rey Saldaña, the president and the CEO of Communities in Schools. Rey, good morning to you. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
So you are part of a national organization that makes sure that all students are empowered to stay in school and be on a path to a brighter future. That future has never looked more clouded, I think, for a lot of parents, a lot of students here than it does right now. So how do you work against that beyond what you normally do in the course of a normal situation?
Important to really lay out all the facts on the table here about what really is one of the more difficult times to be a young person in a generation. It was just a year ago that what we took from these students and recognizing that Communities in Schools works with the most vulnerable students. When you look at students who may be missing school, who have discipline issues, we are planted inside schools. But what happened a few months ago is we essentially took that away from them. We took the safest place for many of them, the most predictable place for their food and their lunch, and in our case, their connection to a caring adult outside of the home. So really wrapped into that now is the turmoil that the entire country is. You've got young people who, even just a few months ago, were already dealing with crisis, and in our work, site coordinators who are in schools are working with students who have issues with food insecurity or with perhaps violence in the home or all the effects of poverty that make it very difficult to reach a graduation stage. And so now this calls all of us, not just our site coordinators working in school, teachers, principals, law enforcement, to think about a generation who's coming up with even more challenges over the last week and the last several months, and how we meet that challenge. That's what Community is doing.
All right, so Rey, I think you laid out the circumstances pretty well on how dire the challenges are. So what are some of the specific things, the specific ways that you were able to sort of combat that, knowing that, you know, the resources are so limited now?
Yeah, so we have to now think about this work in the term whole child. Now, there are components of which where we have to work like paramedics. There are immediate needs. And what the COVID-19 taught us about what students need are that those manifest themselves in things like access to food. So we're delivering a lot of groceries to homes, but we're also setting up one-on-one FaceTime calls, because now that homes are tighter, budgets are tighter, insecurity for jobs in the homes of our students are uncertain, it really puts us in a position that we have to think about the mental health of our students and what it looks like to be, as our organization has, professionally trained to mentally to unpack those mental traumas, that grief that students are going to be dealing with, because it's not just learning loss, it's learning that never happened. It's disruption. And so we have to work like Swiss Army knives, connecting them not only to the academic supports, but even the social nonprofit supports outside of the schools, whether that is helping a family connect to resources from whether it's the CARES Act or federal funding or local and state support that's going to come in to support students. Oftentimes it doesn't find the most vulnerable families and students, and that's where we come in. Now we're doing it outside of the school walls, which again, when you take that away from a student, but we have to get creative and we have to step up to this challenge.
And we know a lot of parents are ready for that challenge and they want to step up. They're not sure how, so we'll direct folks who want to do that to your organization, and we'll do that at our website. That's fox59.com. You'll find it in the links section under the morning tab. Rey Saldaña, thank you very much, and take care and have a good day. It's 9:15. I got to send